A local school district takes action with their struggle to staff the classrooms.
And both soccer teams took to their home turf this homecoming weekend.
These stories and more, All Access starts right now. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of HPU All Access. I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Reese Harnett. Guilford County Schools
calls this Friday a blackout date for employees who have planned the day off. On Monday, at work, even if they were previously approved or if a substitute was already scheduled. The reasoning was that the school district struggles to fill in substitutes for the majority of teachers. On average, the district gets 289 requests for substitutes per day, but can only fulfill 162 of them. According to the GCS Director of Communication, Wanda Edwards, around 1,000 GCS employees request off ahead of North Carolina A&T's homecoming, which is this upcoming weekend. Teachers hope the district can provide greater notice than just 4 days in advance if this were to happen again in the future.
In a pretrial hearing for the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, a man who has been charged with felony homicide related to the shooting and killing of 2 men, Judge Bruce Schroeder said that he would not allow for the men to be called victims at trial. However, the men who were shot will be allowed to be called rioters or looters during the meeting. Schroeder said, and I quote, "The word victim is a loaded word, and I think alleged victim is a cousin to it." Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger disagreed with the judge's rule, claiming it as a double standard due to the countless times Schroeder had allowed the use of the word victim during his trials. The debate over the labels of those involved brings up the worry whether they will affect the jury's impression of both Rittenhouse and the men he killed. Nonetheless, Judge Schroeder's ruling has not changed. Now let's head over to Lauren Green for a snapshot of our local weather. Lauren?
Thank you, Reese. Good evening and welcome back to your All Access Weather Edition. I'm Lauren Green. We can now say that fall is definitely among us as we take a look towards the remainder of the week. Tomorrow it's going to be a high of 65 with a low of 57, and we also have an 80% chance of rain tomorrow, so stay dry and make sure to take an umbrella in case you plan on going out. As we look towards the remainder of the week though, and the weekend, we are going to experience a slight temperature drop, which means a pretty chilly Halloween weekend. As you can see, on Saturday we have a high of 59 with a low of 47, and on Sunday a high of 65 with a low of 43. So consider bringing a jacket in case you plan on going trick-or-treating this weekend. As we look towards next week, it's going to warm up a little bit. However, temperatures will still range from the mid and high 40s to the mid and upper 60s. Monday it's going to be sunny with a high of 65 and a low of 45. And then Tuesday and Wednesday it's going to be partly cloudy though, with temperatures ranging from the upper 40s to upper 60s with a high of 67. That's all for this week's weather edition. Back to you, Anna and Reese.
Thank you, Lauren. I've noticed that it's starting to get a lot colder outside.
Yes, definitely.
But I don't really know what to wear because then I'll start sweating halfway through the day.
Yeah, you know, I enjoyed the weather, getting it. You know, I get my style together this season, but I'm also getting the sniffles too,
Yes.
which is not very nice.
Yes, I get that.
Now let's catch up with our campus update reporter, Will O'Brien. Will?
Thanks, guys. Here with this week's campus update, I'm Will O'Brien. Last weekend started off with homecoming as alumni went to multiple events around campus, including a campus tour, an alumni awards ceremony, a charcoal pony improv show, and much more. High Point University's Department of History partnered with the High Point Museum to host a pop-up museum on campus last Friday. The event showed the furniture enterprise and what it has meant to the growth of the city of High Point. The event also gave history majors the opportunity to gain experience with the history field and help students learn more about the college's interesting past. The temporary museum also included a display of the history of the furniture market. With the intention to celebrate Physician Assistant Week, High Point University's PA students and faculty held a friendly competition to help the community. The department held a non-perishable food drive to donate to the Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina, with a total of 559 items from both students and staff Faculty won with 373 items. The food drive served to aid those in need and to help fend hunger within the Piedmont Triad. The theater at Wannock is showing Moonlight on Thursday at 8 p.m., Old on Friday at 9 p.m., Hocus Pocus on Saturday at 9 p.m., Monsters University on Saturday at 3 p.m., Candyman on Sunday at 7 p.m., and Space Jam on Monday at 1 p.m. As part of Philanthropy Week, Phi Mu will be hosting a Candy Apple event on Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all proceeds will go to Duke Children's Hospital. And Sigma Nu Fraternity will be hosting basketball and volleyball tournaments in the Greek Village and charging $5 entry per person. That's it for this week's campus update. Let's head over to Brooke with sports. Brooke?
Coming back from the break, hear how HPU Sports puts 4 wins on the book this past weekend. Plus, we get excited for our home openers in the new Cobain Arena. Stay tuned, All Access will be right back.
Welcome to High Point University. On this campus, we are focused on preparing students for the world as it is going to be.
Hi, I'm Steve Wozniak, the Woz, and I'm proud to be High Point University's Innovator in Residence.
I'm Cent Marshall, CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, and I am proud to be High Point University's Sports Executive in Residence.
I'm Mark Randolph, and I'm proud to be the Entrepreneur in Residence at the premier life skills university, High Point University.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen. Sheets run and done.
Welcome back to All Access. Our HPU Sports have been busy this past week, and sports reporter Brooke Ruffin is here to fill you all in. What's going on, Brooke?
Thank you and good evening. I'm Brooke Ruffin with your sports update. Wow, what a weekend for sports at HPU. It was homecoming weekend and the Panthers celebrated 4 wins with the best fans. Starting on the court, the Panthers had 2 victories this past Friday and Saturday. First up, High Point swept Winthrop 3-0 on Friday night. It was their 25th consecutive big win as Sydney Palazzolo, Dylan Mayberry, and Gabrielle Eidelberg scored 10 kills. On Saturday, they continued their streak as they swept Gardner-Webb 3-0, making that victory their 26th consecutive Big South win. From the court to the turf, major excitement spread through the Vert Stadium on Saturday as the Panthers celebrated 2 victories and honored their seniors. First up, it was a pink-out game for the women's soccer as they swept Hampton 7-0. What better way for senior Lauren Mazik to celebrate her senior game than to provide 2 goals for the win? Men's soccer defeated Winthrop 1-0 on senior night to remain undefeated in the Big South Conference. Senior Mason Marsery provided that goal, and the Panther defense kept Winthrop from scoring the rest of the game. Come out and cheer on the Panthers as they take on Campbell at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, November 3rd. From the turf back to the court, excitement is already building to start the HPU basketball season. John Michael Wright, the 17th best scorer in the nation, averaging 20.7 points per game, was recently named to the Big South preseason first team. Come out and cheer on the Panthers on November 4th at 7 p.m. as they take on Mount Olive in the beautiful New Nido and Mariana Cobain Arena. And that's all for your All Access Sports Update. I'm Brooke Ruffin. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Brooke. Now we're joined by politics correspondent Elizabeth Ramirez to fill us in on some important current events. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Reese, and welcome back to this week's All Access Politics. Last week, immigration advocates walked out on a virtual meeting with officials from President Joe Biden's administration. This occurred after Biden's administration said that they will be reinstating the Remain in Mexico policy, which was first seen during former President Donald Trump's administration. This policy calls that immigrants seeking U.S. Islam to live in Mexico while their case is being processed. I think they're afraid of the backlash of anti-immigrant groups and will continue to remind them that that backlash will exist regardless of what they do, said Luis Guerra, a strategic capacity officer for the Catholic Legal Immigration Network. Although the policy can be reinstated, Mexico first has to agree to this policy as well. Do you guys think Mexico will agree with allowing migrants to stay in their country?
I think it's ultimately going to just depend on like how well Mexico can provide resources to all of their people, and then if they aren't able to do that, I think it's just going to cause a bit of chaos. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, you've got to look at the last time this happened, you know, with Trump's administration and, you know, the obvious chaos that came from it. You know, they were in camps and, you know, facing extreme heat, extreme cold. And I hope that they do have the resources,
yes.
That's the word I was looking for, that they need in order to do this. Because, you know, obviously we don't want that to happen again.
Right, that's correct.
Exactly.
Well, approximately 2 weeks since the biggest Facebook outage has occurred, it's also been around the same time since information was leaked involving Facebook tactics with handling public safety. Frances Haugen has been revealed as the Facebook whistleblower. She was a data scientist for the company. Haugen testified on October 5th to a Senate subcommittee where she gave an insight on who Facebook is affecting the division, the country, and harming many age groups, especially kids when it comes to the apps Facebook owns. There is also talk about how Facebook was involved in the January 6th Capitol events. While Republicans and Democrats are usually divided, they are coming together with making regulations in for Facebook and other apps like its kind. What do you guys think about both parties kind of uniting for this issue?
I mean, I think it's interesting how it takes a social media app to kind of make people come together, because that's probably not what should be happening. But I mean, I think everything with the privacy laws in regards to Facebook is like pretty crazy right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple months to a year and whatever. What do you think?
Sure, definitely. I mean, like you said, it's so crazy that a social media app is the reason that we're, you know, becoming more unified. And I just hope that it, you know, works out for the best.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us at the desk, Lizbeth. Coming back from the break, we hear more about the tragic accident on Alec Baldwin's movie set.
And an unexpected lawsuit against a well-known food brand. All Access will be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome to Freddy's. What can we get started for you?
I haven't had a carb in 3 weeks, and if I have one more sip of a kale smoothie, I need a Freddy's Original double with cheese, fries, and a turtle sundae. Please.
Coming right up.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good.
Bring it on.
Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Welcome to High Point University. On this campus, we are focused on preparing students for the world as it is going to be.
Hi, I'm Steve Wozniak, the Woz, and I'm proud to be High Point University's Innovator in Residence.
I'm Cent Marshall, CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, and I am proud to be High Point University's Sports Executive in Residence.
I'm Mark Randolph, and I'm proud to be the Entrepreneur in Residence at the premier life skills university, High Point University.
Welcome back to All Access. Now let's head over to entertainment reporter Sierra Zavala to hear the inside scoop from Hollywood. Sierra?
Thanks, Anna. It's Sierra back with your entertainment updates. This past week, Alec Baldwin accidentally fired a prop gun, striking and killing the film cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Baldwin was told that the prop gun was not loaded, and in rehearsal for the scene, he fired it, striking Hutchins in the chest. Hutchins was airlifted to the hospital and later died there. The director, Joao Souza, was also hit in the shoulder but was released from the hospital on Friday. The situation is currently under investigation and it is unknown whether there will be charges against Baldwin. After weeks of searching the remains of Ryan Laundrie, the remains of Ryan Laundrie have been found. They were found alongside his backpack and a notebook at the Carlton Reserve in North Point, Florida. According to the FBI, it appeared that the remains had been there for a while. Laundrie's parents had joined the search a week after it began, and just 24 hours after they joined, his remains were found. His remains were identified through matching dental records based off the teeth found on the site. The autopsy came back inconclusive, so his cause of death is still unknown. In lighter news, the iconic Halloween film Hocus Pocus is finally coming back to the big screen with its long-awaited sequel. Hocus Pocus 2 will be released in fall 2020 and will feature the same leading ladies to play Winifred, Sarah, and Mary. The rest of the cast has not been confirmed, but the movie is already in the filming process. The story will supposedly center around a group of 3 young girls who mistakenly bring the Sanderson sisters back to modern day and will have to fight to reverse it. No trailer or additional information has been released yet.
A childhood favorite, strawberry-flavored Pop-Tarts, is causing some controversy amongst consumers. Kellogg's is facing a class action lawsuit that argues that the company is misleading the amount of strawberries in the tasty treats. Anita Harris of the Southern District of Illinois filed the lawsuit and says that Kellogg's labeling promises, and I quote, a greater relative and absolute amount of strawberries than it does. There's really about 2% or less of dried strawberries, dried pears, dried apples, and red 40 in the product. Since strawberries are cited as the main ingredient, the lawsuit states that having such a small amount is misleading. This lawsuit is costing the company $5 million.
And a British bakery has been forced to remove one of its top-selling cookies because they were topped with illegal sprinkles imported from the US. These sprinkles contain a coloring called erythrocene, also called red number 3 in the US. The West Yorkshire Trading Standards Agency deemed the coloring illegal due to studies showing that in high doses, the additive was found to cause cancer in lab tests on animals. The owner of the bakery, Rich Myers, wrote a few days after the visit, and I quote, I realize how insane this is, but unfortunately I am only prepared to use them and no others. If I can't use them, I won't use any. I will be on sprinkle strike. The issue is being labeled Sprinklegate by social media users, and although these sprinkled cookies have been taken off the bakery's shelves, Myers says that business is booming.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. Join us next week, same time, same place. For HPU All Access, I'm Anna Harris.
And I'm Reese Arnett. Have a great week, High Point.